you're gonna find out that jumping on is a lot easier than jumping off. Wow!
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know. The air is unfit to breathe. Our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad.
Bam. All right, guys, here we are again with another episode of the ThinkStopper. I'm your host, Trez Mala, and we're doing the do. Just want to say thank you again for everybody for tuning in, supporting the podcast. We're trying to grow in numbers. We're going to be getting some video and stuff out, but boo bam, we're doing it. This is episode 31. Great little dealie going on. Mikey right now is out shooting. He's doing some filming for a documentary actually, I think this is a documentary that he's doing. He's working on a few projects, but exciting stuff to come. But he might be joining us later if he doesn't, because he's not too far away. But if he's able to pull it, if they're done shooting, he'll be here. But yeah, man, we're doing it again. I just want to let everybody know that you can find us on YouTube. We have the ThinkStopper podcast channel going on over there, and then also you can find me just on YouTube, Trez Mala. I've been trying to work that a little bit. I got a couple of videos that I've been putting out, just doing some fun stuff, cooking recipe and things like that. So it's a work in progress, but anything helps, do the live support and stuff. But I got a good little episode over here. Our guest today is a guy I've done many shows and done some projects and stuff with here in town. He's a funny guy, but one of the things I've been enjoying is he's taken on a lot of different things in his life, if you will. We were just talking. He likes to pick something and just do it, get it done, figure it out and go from there, and I'm all about the experience collecting as well as, gaining knowledge and going through it. So I wanted to bring him on the podcast because not only is he a funny comedian, but he's a guy that's all about being a man of action. The very funny David Lee.
Hello, Trez. Can you hear me? Very good. Oh, very good.
Yes, sir.
You're probably wondering why am I talking like this. Well, people have told me I look mean due to my my new physique as well as my haircut. Slightly intimidating.
Yeah, you got the what was it, the Tong Po kind of ponytail deal going on, right?
I look like I could fight you.
Yeah, right. Well, you got the muscles now too, bro.
But so I decided to friendly up myself, put some glasses on, and this fake accent.
Hey, that anything to soften things up, I guess, if you get a bad rap with that little deal. But yeah, guys. So here's one of the things, and this is what I was getting at with David. When I first met him, we were just doing comedy from Hawaii.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't know what you're going on. You might have been still going through school when you're with the film stuff and all that. I don't know what you're doing personally, but you'd already been established as doing comedy.
Yeah.
And you come over from the islands here, and in no way, shape, or form did I ever see or expect to see you become a bodybuilder in a way, with the way you're and this is what I want to sum this up is one night we were doing a mic, we're at a mic, and it's on the over there in Green Valley area, and I'm heading out and David's headed out, and he's like, hey man, can you give me a lift home? And I was like, yeah dude, I'm on my way, and he's like, hey, I don't have much, but he's like, dude, can I buy you, can I get you a burger or something? And he's like, yeah, you go,
I did that.
yeah, you're like, yeah, right. You're like, I don't. He's like, and I was like, no, I'm cool. And he's like, well, can you, I'm like, don't worry about it. And you go, can I swing? Can you still swing by? I go, I need to get something to eat. He probably had a couple beers, some drinks, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, dude, no worries. So we go, and you're like, I'm like, where do you want to go? And you're like, oh, just swing over here to McDonald's. And I was like, oh man, you really getting it in right now, getting that late night McDonald's. So here we are, in no way, in shape or form are you in like bodybuilding physique or anything like that, right? Or
No.
there's like no notion at all that you're into any fitness. Not like you're like, obese or way out of shape. Just not a bodybuilder, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, dude, you're like, and this is some years later, but next thing you know, you're like, yeah, dude, I'm entering this competition, and all of a sudden, man, you got that V shaped, and you're getting all ripped, and and the only thing that you're missing is that crazy muscle chin now.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, you're all vast, and then you took it to the level of training people and helping people after doing competition, still doing competition, and then one of the things that I liked, and I don't know what all, but you were doing the like videoing their progress or something like that, right?
Yeah.
How's that been going?
Oh man, I just I kind of, I don't know where I am right now with fitness and videography, but I know that I'm working part-time with this television station, and it's pretty much sustaining me. So I'm thinking like, or maybe it's the prep. Maybe it's the prep that I'm on, because I'm 4 weeks out, and when you're 4 weeks out, you're hungry. You get a little crazy. You don't make sense a little bit. Kind of like right now. I don't even know if I'm answering the question.
Hey, no worries, dude.
But how's that going? It's great. I never thought I'd be doing this, and then like you said, I never thought I'd be a bodybuilder.
Yeah, right. Like, how'd that even come about? Someone just said, like, or you just said to yourself, like, I want to do it. And
well, remember when I was working in that TV station, that Christian TV station?
Yeah.
And they gave me a show. My first show was called Made in Vegas. I was like, all right, let's do a show on fitness. So I had a couple episodes in. Maybe on the second season, I decided, you know what, I'll do a bodybuilding competition, and I'll document my journey for every episode. So I did that, and then I did the actual competition, and I was in top 5, and I was like, oh crap, I like it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and I just noticed every year, from every single year, you've seen this, you've probably seen the changes. Like, I look fluffy for a good part of the year.
100%. Yeah, no, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you were soft.
Yeah.
Now you're chiseled, bro. You know what I mean? Like,
And
there's
it
no
happens
denying.
every year. Fluffy chisel.
Yeah, hey, dude. That happens. That is an extreme, though. That is an extreme. I mean, you really, you're really indulging one way or the other. You're indulging in like extreme fitness to get muscular as well as vasc. And have like a low body fat percentage. I mean, that's the target, right?
Yeah.
When you're bodybuilding, you're performing, and then the other way, man, like I was telling you earlier, we were talking about those meals, those after competition meals. That's like, that is the glutton's dream right there,
Yes,
bro.
yes.
It's like, it's like you get a pizza, right, and you got like a cheese stuffed pizza, and you're like, the cheese crust stuffed pizza. You're like, no, we're gonna stuff it with cupcakes and cheesecake, And then we're gonna have a pizza. Like, people get mad about pineapple, we're hitting it with chocolate sauce. You know what I mean? Like, you got the whole thing. I was like, yo, I mean, you had everything, like a cornucopia of like tear your asshole up food.
But I had Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yeah. Was that the balanced breakfast
I
of the
guess
deal?
so, yeah. Yeah, and it's my childhood treat that I miss.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
Yeah.
Really? That's the was before Cinnamon Toast Crunch, was it Life cereal?
No.
Because that's the same with Life. Although all the sugar would get knocked off, and you just end up with cardboard chips.
That's true. Yeah.
Soggy cardboard chips, but
Yeah.
so you're you move out from the island, right? You're from Hawaii, the Big Island, right?
Oahu.
Oahu?
Yeah. I moved from Oahu. I ended up in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Living there for 2 years, and that was right before Vegas, and like I did all the cool stuff I wanted to do. You know, I went on tour. Do you know Chris Fonseca?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Have you ever done a show with him or gone on a road with him? Everyone should have a road story with Chris Fonseca.
No, I don't. Yeah, no.
Okay, well, I'll save that for another time. But I did the tour.
Why, we got all the time in the world, man.
All right.
Yeah.
It's because it was my first tour. I was like, he messaged me on Facebook. He asked me if I could host for him. I was like, all right, cool, yeah. Can you drive too? I'm like, okay, cool. And I love the guy. But this was during the time. I'm proud of him right now because he's sober. He's been sober for a long time.
Okay.
But that wasn't the time I went on tour with him.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's a challenge when you have to pull a cerebral palsy man onto his wheelchair on a hill.
Holy cow.
Yes, and I wasn't, I was.
Now it'd be easy, right?
Now, yeah. But and I love the guy. I love his whole transformation story. He's no longer drinking, and I'm so glad he's not doing that anymore. But I'll always have the memory of when I knew he was peeing in his catheter cup.
Oh yeah.
Yes. I'm sorry. I think I just embarrassed him right there. But I don't know.
Well, isn't that what you're supposed to do anyways? You're supposed to fucking pee in them. You know what I mean?
You're supposed to. And he had no other choice. He had no other choice because otherwise we'd have to stop frequently and pull him out of the chair and hold him up to, I don't know if you're supposed to hold him up.
Yeah, man. See, I was like, now you asked me. I'm gonna be honest. You asked me to do that show. Are we working on an hourly rate? Because that sounds more than just doing hosting for a show. Helping the dude, pulling the dude's dick out. You know what I mean? Like hoisting him up to the urinal and shit, dude.
Yeah.
And be like, yo, dog, you're on your own. You're on your own on that one. You should have handlers. Yeah, especially when I'm driving. Sorry, Miss Daisy. But,
and then when the tour was over, I was so hyped. I was so psyched. I was, yes, I've done it. I've done comedy clubs. I'm touring with this guy over here, and that's awesome. And then I went back to my job as a busboy and dishwasher.
Oh yeah,
over
man.
at the zoo restaurant. Okay, and the guy, one of the cooks, came up to me while I was doing my thing. He was like, "Hey man, I just want to let you know that you are the best dishwasher I've ever seen."
Oh, nice.
And I'm over there like, my eyes watered up. I was like, "Oh, this is not
dude.
my life."
Hey man, I'm with you on that. I know exactly what that's all about, dude.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, though, dude. That's also a good thing because that if they say that shit to you, man, that means you strive to be the best at what you're doing. You know what I mean? Try to be the best that you could be at what you're doing.
I received that much later in life, but at the time I was like,
no, totally,
Yeah.
no. Trust me, man. It happens to me all the time. It's happened to me my whole life. And it's like, well, yeah. How many times I had people, and I love to do it, but I just don't. I know me. You know what I mean? I know me. But I have people that tell me, they're like, dude, you should open up like a restaurant or a taco stand, or, you should do something because, like, I get told all the time I'm a good cook, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn or anything like that, but I'm efficient and I know what I'm doing. I know flavors and stuff, and I get it all the time. And I'm just like, no, man, because I know me, dude. I'll fucking. It'll be a big. I don't want to say it'll be a big waste, but it's just a lot of effort. I like, it'd be different if they had the budget and I could just delegate and then cook and make the recipes and let other people, do. But like me being in the trenches, dude, I burned that out. That's been fucking beaten out of me cooking when I was growing up. You know what I mean? Like I cook for I just want to enjoy it. I want to cook. I want to walk away. I want to clean a fucking thing. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to run a kitchen where I got to go or a restaurant, or even just a business. I got to be tidy and got to worry about the health department and fucking city officials and fucking permits and shit. Nah, dude, I'm good. But, people tell me, I've had people tell me all the time, like, bro, they're like, good with comedy. The competition, is up. The competition, but like, bro, you should be fucking, do it. And I was like, I'm just doing what I want to do. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pursuing comedy. I love comedy. I love doing the podcast and I love doing everything. You know what I mean? I'm like, I want to, it's like, real quick side note, total ADD moment, but, when you did interviews, you did interview with like me and other comedians for your Vegas show that you're doing, right? And I was honest, I'd be honest with you, I've never had aspirations to be an actor, but I'll do it. I want to do it, I'm down, but I've never I don't want to be a Hollywood star, I just want to be a headlining comedian, and whatever other else comes out of it, And I say that in that interview, and then you cut to a fucking piece that you had me do with you for your film class of me like acting. I'm like, I don't want to be an actor, and it's like, it has me reading the thing and showing doing the video of me doing like your little piece typing and stuff. And I was like, oh, he got me good. Right? That's fucking great editing, dude. That's fucking hold the fire to my. But. No, you're being told that, while I'm pursuing something else, well, you should do that instead. It's like, other than when I look at things on like what I asked the universe and what I put out in the universe. Was a little more general than, and I'm kind of, talking like law of attraction and kind of whittling it down, being more specific now. But what I put out there, and I felt, was I'm going to make a living and I'm going to provide for my family, with me telling jokes, with me talking, with me using my voice. I'm done bartending. I'm done the restaurant world. I'm done trying to figure out like other stuff. I'm gonna, and this job that I got now has popped up. I do the comedy tours, and that's like a steady gig, and then I get to do night gigs, and I get to do stuff, and so I'm able to do what I wanted to do. I just wasn't as specific when I put that out there, and I'm fine with that because this is like my job is, dude. I've sharpened my blade on this thing. Like I'm ready. It happens. But I don't have like, I don't have bad shows like before. Like it's few and far because I can figure it out a lot quicker. I can change gears a lot better because of my gig. But I will say this. I did have a bad gig 2 weeks ago to where I was supposed to come back the following week and like, nah, it's okay.
What?
Yeah, nah, dude, I ate a dick. But it wasn't me. I can't say it was me, man, because, those jokes that I throw out are like, I can't say now that they're 100%er, but, I throw out like good Vegas jokes to this crowd. But they were there. They were there for music.
On the bus.
No, this wasn't on the bus. This is off. This is off this is at a gig.
Gotcha.
This was a gig. It was in between bands.
Oh.
So, and the thing is none of the people, other than the people all the way in the back of the room. I mean, we're talking like way back there, like 30 yards. You know what I mean? Like, back by the bar. No one that was in the audience would give me anything to do any crowd work and like talk to anybody. Other than me just standing there asking people questions with like one-word answers, so I had to go back to material, and then they were just like, It was brutal. It was brutal.
How big was the crowd?
Small. It was like, probably the 6 people in the back and maybe a total of 12 people.
12 people.
You know what I mean? Scattered in a big-ass room, right? Yeah, and then no one was giving me anything. You know what I mean? Like, I just need you to have like we can have a little bit of conversation.
Yeah.
So then like stuff just pops in my head. You know what I mean? Because I've already thrown out stuff that like to see where you're at. See if you're drinking. See if you're relaxing after work. Seeing if I've thrown out all the stuff and they're not giving me anything. But I would do the gig again, but I sure as fuck don't need it. You know what I mean? Because I've done gigs in between musicians, you know what I mean? Like Battle of the Bands and other music venues where they had a comic up there.
Yeah.
'Cause they didn't want to keep people there. They don't want them to leave. And it's always been a shit show. It's never worked out. It's like for not even just me, every comic. You know what I mean? Like I think out of like 10 times that I've done that, it's been 50-50, Wow. It's been, and 50-50 might as well be, you've never had a good one. You know what I mean? As a comic, 50-50, you're doing 50-50, you fucking, no, dude, that's not working. You know what I mean? Like, that's not.
50-50 each night?
No. Just out of, like, 5 out of 10 have been good, and that's
Okay.
not good.
That's not good.
You know what I mean? No, not at all.
But if it was in the same set, that's still not good.
Well, the thing is like I've had some where like material worked, and I've had some where it was just you had to do crowd work. Like there's no material. But when you're trying to figure out what's gonna work with these people, and when you don't get, what are you gonna do? Set yourself on fire? You know what I mean? Like, but that's just the nature of the beast, And I told my buddy that got me the gig, I was like, hey, dude. He's like, yeah, man, I'm sorry for the crowd, dude. And I go, bro, it's my job to fucking figure it out. You know what I mean? And within 10 minutes, I couldn't fully figure them out. Like, we weren't vibing. I couldn't find one person to vibe in the room with.
How much time did you have to do?
Just 10.
10.
Yeah, 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
And it was two free drinks at the bar and $35 for 10 minutes. It's worth it. It was worth it. And here's the thing, man. I should have, if I would have known that we're gonna have any response, I would have just I would have just gone through my fucking Facebook and just read off those stupid thoughts and jokes. You know what I mean? I would have just thrown that shit out. But such it is. Whatever. But
what's your worst show ever? Well, like what did you have? We've all had bad shows, but what was your worst? Have you ever told that story yet? I don't know. I want to know.
My worst show, like my worst performance, or just the worst show?
Yeah, it could mean anything. It could be.
Pull the mic down just a tad. No, pull it down. Yeah, perfect.
All right, cool.
Yeah, that'll work.
It could be anything. It could be like it could be. Yeah, it could be your performance, but it could also be the entire show in general. Like shit kept happening and all that.
Well, that one I just described was pretty. It brought me back to like the days when of like bombing, like real bombing. 'Cause I mean, out of 10 minutes, when you get 10 laughs, that's fucking terrible. You know what I mean? Like a one laugh a minute, dude. That's just like,
And
you
how
know what I
long
mean?
is the laugh?
A laugh a minute. I mean, I got laughs,
Yeah.
but it was just brutal. You know, it was like, and it was like they would be the fall offs. God, bad. You know, I haven't, dude. I gotta be honest, man. I haven't had that like. I haven't had that bad of an experience like doors is like, oh, this is the worst. Like, there's like some, you know, shitty shit that's happened and stuff, but dude, we like every show's been to completion. Every show was like, you know, that I've done. Fuck, man. And this shows you. I mean, this shows you either how lucky I am or how, you know, how inexperienced I am. But I've never been outright fucked on pay on a show. Like, I've been fortunate that everybody's come through and paid me. And paid me when other people didn't get paid.
Yeah.
You know? But I've never been, yeah, man. Fuck, I mean, there's a couple that I've had that have been some really, you know, fucked up shows and fucked up things have happened, but nothing like, you know, I've never had anybody, no, that's not true. As I say, I never had anybody threaten me for my jokes, but I did have one guy. He was just drunk, and he heard a word, and he thought that one word was like, you know, covering a whole nation or whatever, you know. And it wasn't even like, I have this joke where I talk about gardening with my kids and stuff like that, and the punchline comes down to punchline comes down to playing Mexican music, right? And then the tags and, you know, a topper on the deal. I go through different disco music, and I go through then I get to bringing it back to the like original. I make a, what was it, what the fuck, I haven't told this joke in a while, but I make a reference to country music.
Oh.
And this dude got upset about country music and wanted to fight me. Dude wanted to fight me, and he looked like he looked like a young and skinny Brett Favre. And I made that comment, and he fucking lost his shit, and he wanted to come. And it was funny. It was like where he was standing. It was the DJ. It was the DJ of the comedy show. Dude had 2 minutes to drink, dude. He lost his shit, bro. Yeah. And there was like this pillar, and then there was this wall. It was like this weird design. Like, it shouldn't have been there. It shouldn't have been like that. Like a 10-inch gap in between. Well, the dude thought he could squeeze in between that to get to me. And he, like, between the, in between the pillar and the wall, he fucking, he goes in, he gets stuck, and not like stuck, but like he realized like fuck.
Did you help him?
No, so then he comes around, and then a couple people grab him, but I was like, dude, I'm on the stage, and you're coming up to me, and I'm just gonna fucking like toe kick you in the throat and probably finish out this set. You know what I mean? Like, the dude was in no position to fight or anything like that. But dude, I've never had like a fucking, you know, dude, if I bomb, you know, I've had a lot of, I had Bobby Stotts one time tell me, he's like, bro, he's like, you're the most graceful in bombing, you know? And I was like, I go, thank you, that hurts, but I get it. You know, he's like, bro, you just, he goes, it just doesn't look like it phases you, but he's like, but he goes, you're not oblivious to the bombing. You know what I mean? Like, you just be like, all right, let's try this. You know, we'll go up with that. We'll do this, do that. You know, and I was like, thanks. And there's other people that told me, like, bro, you're just so natural up there. And I was like, okay, Thanks. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, does it hurt?
What, bombing or?
I mean, when that happens.
No.
No.
No. You know, yeah, dude, I'm a very, um, I'm a fucked up, as comedians, we're all fucked up, you know.
We are.
But I'm a very emotionless guy. But then I have my hang-ups, and my hang-ups are bad. All right? It's like I don't like sweets. You know, I don't eat candy and stuff like that. But dude, you get me on a chocolate bender, I'll fuck it up. I'll turn into fat bastard. You know what I mean? Like I'll eat a fucking 5-gallon tub of fucking chocolate ice cream without batting an eye. You know what I mean? Like it just becomes the point where I just want to feel it on my tongue. You know what I mean? Like just like but I'm like emotionless in the sense I do have feelings though. Stuff does bother me, but it's done.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm not and this is what's sad, but I'm not a person that anybody's ever going to remember anything that I do. So I shouldn't fucking care about it. Unless I do or say something that's going to be over the top controversial that hurts somebody that like hurts somebody spiritually, you know what I mean? Like hurts them in their core or does something bad or influences them in that way. But like, you know, it's like, look at Louis C.K., dude. You know what I mean? That guy is like a figure to where, you know, he had to fess up to where he was, you know, and this is the deal, consensually jerked off in front of these people, but he was chastised like he fucking mouth raped somebody, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like anytime he does a show, because people have this half-ass fucking information on it, you know, they only run with the fucking headlines, and he's got to pay for it and shit like that. Like, you know, unless I was to do something really fucking heinous and stuff, like, no one gives a fuck, dude. They don't care about me. No one gives a shit, dude. I'm a conspiracy theorist. I'm a fucking, you know what I mean? Like, no one gives a fuck about what I do. And I operate accordingly. You know what I mean? I do my own fucking thing. You know, if it catches on and it becomes a thing, cool. If not, I don't give a fuck. I'm doing my thing. You know what I mean? Like, but, yeah, man, I just want to fucking make people laugh. And, you know what I mean? And be goofy. Like, and the thing is like, I want to do and say, you know, what I want to do and say, and have a hopefully, you know, no matter what I'm doing and saying, it has a positive effect, you know, via laughter. But I'm just so sick and tired of like the way comedy is right now.
Oh yeah. Yes. Absolutely. Yes.
You know, I really hate I really hate that, like, I really hate how, like, it's so easy for people just to be poignant, you know, like they have they're able to just inject this like unmitigated hate, and then if you have anything to the contrary, to the converse of it, you know, if you're the other side, or you just don't even subscribe to it, all of a sudden, you know, you're a hateful person. You're like, I've had a lot of people just ghost me, turn on me, you know, and don't want to do shit. You know, I had one of the comedians, because I shared a tweet that was of Dinesh D'Souza. Yeah. Sorry, I'm a little lazy tongue there. But he, you know, first of all, this dude, Dinesh, has done amazing history, done amazing work. And he's done he did he did some of the smartest, and this is what burns the left. He did some of the most smartest deep research, and what he did is he did it in enemy territory, so to speak. And I'm not taking sides, but from his point, Republican, Democrat, he went into the DNC. He went into the Democratic Party's archives and pulled up all this shit. So when he was bashing, when he was pointing out stuff on the left, and then he was pointing out stuff about Obama, and then when he was pointing out stuff about Hillary, he was using all the stuff from the Democratic archives, right, and other stuff, but it's all backed.
Yeah.
And of course they demonized him and stuff. He went to jail. He went to prison.
What for?
He went to prison because he didn't know, like, whatever he was. He didn't understand, like, the politics of whatever. But supposedly, at least that's his alibi. Something about campaign contributions and businesses and politicians, whatever. He did something that was, like, illegal as far as, like, donating money. Couldn't, I don't know the extent of it. But dude,
it had nothing to do with his films, but they got him on something else.
Yeah, but I think it was before. I think that's what turned him into a filmmaker.
Oh.
And what he did is he like broke down. He broke down a lot of stuff, like how the system works on the inside, and that's like what got him out. Like, and that's what kept him from getting a lot of flack, because he was like explaining to a lot of the dudes in jail, like, how they're setting them up to fail and like what they're doing. He explained, he's like explaining like capitalism, he's explaining like, the laws that are in place are from the Democrats, and you know what I mean? Like he went through, like, it was quite an impressive thing. There's a movie about him and stuff about it. But anyways, when he was doing like his movie on Obama and he did his movie on Hillary Clinton, he broke down the history of the Democratic Party, and a lot of people, and I don't give a fuck, okay? I love all you out there, but I don't give a fuck. You motherfucking Democrats need to look at the history of the Democratic Party and stop thinking with your feelings and you need to start looking at the actions and what the fuck's been going on, okay? Because here's the deal, and Dinesh D'Souza fucking broke this down, but like, they're the slavery party, Democrats. They wanted to keep slavery.
Oh, yeah.
The Republican Party came to an existence to eliminate slavery. You know what I mean? Black people voted Republican up until the 1930s, from the Great Depression after the Great Deal and all sorts. They break all this down, and then there was kind of like wishy-washy. But dude, his last name, I can't remember his first name, Abernathy, and Martin Luther King. I want to say Robert Abernathy, but I don't. But in Martin Luther King, all right, both of these guys urged their following and stuff to vote Republican, to vote for Eisenhower, because he was pushing for the Civil Rights Act. The Democrats voted against it. Like, the Democrats, like, they formed the KKK.
They did.
They formed the fucking KKK. They voted against all sorts of civil rights shit. You know what I mean? I mean, it is there. It is in the archives. And they fucking, they make up all these excuses. And I'm not supporting or sucking the fucking Republicans' fucking dicks on this deal. But the history is there.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, what ends up happening to the Republicans is you get in globalists. Okay, you get in globalists, and these are the people that turned into the war hawks, and they tried to use Christianity as justification for the wars and all that stuff. That's a total different deal. That's completely different from the origins of the fucking Republican Party versus what was already there with the established Democrats. All right, and then they had the Dixiecrats, and then they end up leaving that deal. But there is the history. If you look at the history, okay, of the Democratic Party, they vote against civil rights. They vote. They vote for segregation. Okay, the Democratic Party. There was a slogan in the in like the 1860s or maybe even early, maybe even like closer to the 1900s, where the Democrats said, fuck, I'm paraphrasing here, but it was like, keep the government keep Washington white or something, like keep government, like they didn't want any, because the Republicans were putting in black politicians and officials, and people don't realize that the Republicans that had black senators and all sorts of people from the 1800s. It wasn't until like 70 or something like that where they had a first black senator. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. Yeah. But you bring this up and they froth. They fucking froth. You bring the shit up to them. Oh no, there was the big switch. No, there wasn't. There was no big switch. I had a comedian, and I talked about this before. I had a comedian during this whole election. People were like, oh, Trump's a fucking racist. Trump's a fucking... And I'm not Trumping. But I was like, dude, there's no evidence. There's no concrete evidence that he's... But there's no... that he's in the KKK. I go, but you want to know where there is concrete evidence? There is concrete evidence where Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, Bill Clinton, and a slew of other fucking Democrats praise deceased Senator Robert Byrd. Okay? This guy was a exalted Cyclops Ku Klux Klan member.
Oh, wow.
Okay? And he was, in the early years in the Ku Klux Klan, before he reached that title of exalted Cyclops, was a recruiter for the KKK. Huh. Okay? But then, right, supposedly he leaves the KKK and he says, that was terrible of me. I'm here to fight for civil rights. He only voted a couple, like twice on like actual civil rights things. Other than that, like everything else, he was like non-present, which Obama did a lot, right?
Yeah.
But he was non-present, or he voted the other way. Do you honestly believe that a guy that was born and raised in the South, that grew up in the KKK, fucking all of a sudden just changed his ways and just stopped and right? But yes. Even then, would you even still trust that guy, or would you even give that guy would you give that guy a pass? Would you? I mean, seriously, the stuff that he did, the shit that the KKK did and stuff like that, would you really give that guy a fucking pass, regardless of what he fucking said, where he was recruiting people to go fucking get fucking black people and other white people that were against, you know what I mean? Like, well, I had a fucking comedian who was supporting Hillary, a comedian here in Las Vegas, say, well, he disavowed. And I go, dude, you're giving that guy a pass? And he goes, well, that's just what you had to do back in those days to be a politician. I said, oh, wait. So you mean you had to be in the Ku Klux Klan to be a politician, right? And only a Democrat. The Republicans were politicians without that shit. They weren't fucking Ku Klux Klan members, right? Yeah. They were fucking going against all that stuff. They were the guys that pushed for 40 acres and a mule to free the slaves, to give them something, right? Not the Democrats who voted against it. The history is there. They deny it. It's crazy. It drives me insane. You know what I mean?
You can't reason with them. It's almost impossible. Once you throw out facts, they respond with feelings, and then the conversation's over.
100%. 100%, dude. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being passionate, but dude, emotion, that drives them, and that's all they think about. And it's crazy because whenever you have any discussion with anybody on the left, I'm gonna be honest, and I deal with it all the time. Whenever I answer the question, it's another question. Whenever I answer the question, there's another. Well, what about this? And he answered, well, what about that? I go, dude, do you see how further away you are getting from what we're originally talking about? I go, can you bring it back this? Yeah, but it all ties in it. I go, please tie it together. Fuck Trump. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man. There's people have broken it down. Biden. Biden. Might as well be. But Joe Biden, how long has this fucking dude been in politics? He's a career-long politician. Bernie Sanders, a career-long politician. Hillary Clinton, a career-long politician. All these people have been in the game, have been doing shit, dude, right? And here we are. We're in the state of. Here we are. This is the way the world is. Trump, 3 years into it, they're blaming it all on this motherfucker, and it was like, dude. And then when he does anything right, they're like, oh well, that's just because of Obama. But they've proven that shit to not be right. Yeah. And my whole thing is, again, I don't want to sound like I'm trumping, but you guys aren't acknowledging what's really fucking going on. You know what I mean? Like people aren't fucking like, dude. If you want me to believe CNN and NBC and even Fox, like, at least call some of the right shit. At least call, like, Russian hookers pissing and all the bullshit. Yeah, okay, do it. But when we're talking about black unemployment, when we're talking about, when we're talking about the First Step Act and stuff like that, we're talking about these things that he's doing for the fucking country that's helping us out. I'm gonna be honest. I've made more money at my job than I've had this last year since we're getting into the actual. Oops, fuck! I keep doing that. Sorry, but we keep getting into the whole like the Trump side of things.
Oh yeah.
I've got more money.
Same.
I have a little less on my tax return.
Yeah.
But that's a good thing in regards of it means I have more money throughout the year. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to talk about it, but I'm happy with it. You know what I mean? I'm not going to tell you how much, and it's not like, oh, I'm making tens of that. No, nothing like that. But the little extra that I have, the money that I made, that is more than last year. Yeah. is more than what I've gotten back on my taxes. Everybody they only look at the tax return. Fuck you. I shouldn't even be paying these fucking taxes to get a return. You know what I mean? The way the Constitution's set up, we shouldn't be paying not income tax. Taxes on other things is different. Corporations and foreign corporations, foreigners should be paying an income tax, but not people of the United States. And this is by the Constitution, but they changed all that shit with the Federal Reserve and the IRS bringing all that stuff, and that's a different beast. But can these news outlets on the other side, they keep coming up with bullshit after bullshit after bullshit.
Yeah. And you were talking about the you have more money. I was a couple of years ago, or was it? I don't know what year it was when that mandate you had to pay if you didn't have health insurance.
The Obamacare, yeah.
Obamacare. There was, in 2016 or 17, I lost my job and I didn't have health insurance anymore. So following tax year, I had to pay all that stuff, all those fines. I'm like, why am I paying this fine? Mm-hmm. Because I don't have it. So those motherfuckers can have it, and they don't pay shit.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
No, totally. Well, what was fucked up is like a lot of people are like, well, it benefited me. And I go, yeah, because you're in a certain percentage and it benefited some people. But you have to realize there was guys like me. There's guys like you. There's all sorts of people. There's a lot of other people who, and families and stuff, was like, that whole thing, oh, if you like your doctor, you can keep it. Bullshit, dude. Yeah. Now when the premiums and stuff, now all that stuff shot up through the roof and people had to pay triple. Every small business that I worked for they all dumped their insurance because they couldn't afford it. That was done by design. So when people are like, oh yeah, no, Obamacare was great. And I was like, for a extremely small amount of people, and everybody else was penalized. All right?
Yeah.
Our healthcare system needs to be fixed. And I wouldn't be, I gotta be honest, I'm not opposed. I'm not opposed to making sure there's like some form of like a base level of coverage and care to where you're not putting people in debt and you're fucking up people. Here's the thing. We could pay for everything. We could pay for fucking all of it. We could pay for everything. If we stop, we could fucking feed the world. We could replumb. We could get proper water and sewage to all over the world. If we fucking stop these bullshit wars.
True. Yeah.
I wouldn't be
so much money.
I would have zero. I would give zero fucks. People are like, well, that's socialized medicine. You know what? We're just fucking wasting money blowing it up over there, and then we're gonna go and repair these fucking mud huts in these fucking places afterwards with these fucking, with these concrete and steel structures. And that's all on the taxpayer. It's all on us. Why wouldn't we? And it's all loans, really. It's not on the taxpayer. They just keep writing more and more loans. It gets put on us, but we'll never. The Reagan administration found out in 1982. It's called the Grace Report. If you taxed every American back in 1982, 100% of their income, every American, man, woman, child, newborn, if they had an income, if you were to tax them 100% on it, regardless of whatever the base income that they determined, it would not even service the interest of the debt of that year.
I like to see it this way. It's a little.
And look where we are now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I noticed that. When you talk about taxing, you talk about taxing. You're like, I'm thinking like if somebody penalized me for having too much size and said, "Hey, you're too buff. We got to give some of this to that guy over there." But he's not doing shit. Yeah, but he needs it. I'm like, no. You know what I would do if that happened? I would start eating shit. I would start eating cheeseburgers and all the crap you're not supposed to eat, so we both get a heart attack. And that's what socialism does.
It does.
Demotivates people.
100%. 100%. It totally demotivates people. Look at the biggest fucking hypocrite in the fucking world when it comes to socialism and, socialism, fucking Bernie Sanders. This cocksucker was fucking telling everybody, the individual, if you make this amount of money, you need to pay your fair share of taxes. This motherfucker has worked he's only been living off of donations and fucking government dole tax money and stuff. That's why everybody needs to pay their fair share. Motherfucker, you ain't paying dick. All right? Okay? But here's the deal. This sag nut motherfucker goes and writes a book, and now he's making millions of dollars, right? He's pulling in a couple $1,000,000, right? I bet you, first of all, we were talking about this the other day on the last episode. First of all, I bet that motherfucker was like, "Why haven't I done this before?" He make all this money. But then he was on this is like a CNN or an MSNBC little deal. I mean, it could have been Fox, whatever. Fox is all part of Disney owns them. They're all the same. It's not like I was a Fox guy anyways. No mainstream media with me. But anyways, they had him a little fucking thing. And someone says, "Oh, hey, Bernie, now that you made, I think it was like $3 million on your book, on your book sales, are you gonna propose that 47% tax? That you're saying that people in the 1% need to pay. Da 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 da. Are you gonna lead by example? Are you gonna pay the taxes on that?" And you want to know what his response was? And this was immediate. This was his gut response.
Wow.
You pay those taxes.
What?
That's what you pay those. That was his response. She goes, "Are you going to lead the charge?" He goes, "No." He's like, "What I want to do, I want to clarify the corporations, the corporations name." Dude, his whole career was on the individual and corporations, but it was on the individual paying the billionaires, the 1%, the rich people. He kept saying, now this motherfucker's making millions of dollars. He's like, whoa, put it on the corporation. Don't look at the individual now. And now he wants to become a constitutionalist because he's making money. He's off of that government tit.
Yeah.
He's off that government tit. So now he's like, oh, I gotta, my balls are swinging now. It only took me fucking, 65, 70 years of my fucking life to fucking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, every motherfucker out there, I'm letting you know right now, if you're hating on capitalism, you're a fucking moron, okay? Hate on globalism, hate on corporatism, hate on crony capitalism, these politicians that do all this stuff that make monopolies and duopolies and shit like that. But the real deal capitalism, and if we ever were lucky to ever have a free market, which is almost impossible unless you're in the black market and you're not dealing with, get the fuck out of here. Even with the systems that's in place with capitalism right now, okay, you can rise out of poverty and beyond the middle class into the upper class, the 1%. You can actually do that. You can't do that anywhere else.
No.
You
no.
can't do it without capitalism. It's not happening. It's not happening. It's not happening unless you become a fucking drug lord or you fucking child sex trafficker. Not happening.
Yeah, and you know.
Not unless you're doing greasy shit. Sorry.
No, you can build yourself from anything, anywhere. Like I told you that story about the dishwasher, telling me I was the best dishwasher. That was when I said, you know what, I'm gonna get an education. Came to Vegas, worked in television, and got my degree, and I'm like, here I'm talking to you.
Yeah, dude.
It's like, I don't know. You can shape your own future. You this is America. You can do whatever the hell you want to do. You could decide to do something and fucking do it.
Yeah, dude. Okay. Do you know Yoshi Obanyashi?
No.
So really, really funny comedian from Japan. He works with Russell Peters, and he's been on, he's done a lot of great, hilarious dude, great insight. When we had him on the podcast, and he was telling us, he goes, Americans don't know what the fuck they have. He goes, America is fucking great. He goes, this country is special, and there's a lot of people who are fucking it up, and they're trying to fuck it up for other people, And he goes, you can't be like the rest of the world. You got to be America. You got to stay the same. America's got to stay. You got to stay American, And he goes, your freedom of speech. There's people who are trying to shut it down, within your country. It's crazy to me. He goes, this is what the rest of the world is trying to aspire to. What all the people who are held underneath their government that want the freedoms to do their own business, to not get shaken down, to da-da-da-da. And I was like, well, that happens here too. And he goes, yeah, but you can still do it here. You can't do it in a lot of places unless you work for them, and all sorts of stuff like that. But he goes, do you know how many people from foreign countries come here to go see their politicians when they're in Capitol Hill, or they'll find out while they're on vacation that they're some kind of politician of theirs is here. He's like, you know how many people they actually will go, they'll make the trek to see that? And I was like, I thought he was going to go in with an angle. And I was like, oh, I don't know. And I thought he was going to be like, how many Americans do it when somebody, do a contrast? I thought he was going to go. And he says, he goes, you know why they go? To go see their politician. And I was like, no. And he goes, so they can yell at him, so they can criticize him, so they can air their grievances, and stuff. They can actually express themselves, because in their country, if they were to do that in a public forum, they'll get drug out into the street and shot, or they'll get taken to jail, or da-da-da-da, like, I don't want to say drug out in the street and shot, but you know what I mean? Like, they'll be, and, like, they don't have that kind of recourse. They go, you can about ready to lose that here in Vegas. I mean, in the States, well, anywhere, but you're about ready to lose that here if you don't stay on it, if you don't fight for it, if you don't use it, my grandpa grew up in the Great Depression, and they were like, what's your excuse? You're an American. What? Oh, you can't find a job? What do you mean? It's America. Fucking make something happen. You know what I mean? Like, do it. And as funny as I remember my friend's grandma, her whole thing, you know what she hated most than anything? She hated fucking poor white people. She's like,
I get the sentiment.
She was like, what the fuck? She's like, you're white in America?
Yeah.
And you're fucking over here like they're like, you've fucked off every fucking bit of, every advantage. You know what I mean? Like, if you're like, they're like, you're not even, you're like, you don't even think of yourself. You're not even treating yourself as like a, and what's fucked up is like, I know what she's saying. You know what I mean? It's not saying there's white privilege or anything like that, but it's like, you have the path of least resistance. You know what I mean? Like, you can actually do stuff, but you got your own hangups, because be honest, man, black people and people of color, dude, they're met with adversities that other white people don't. And I want to say it's not the same all the way around, because on some level, you're always going to hit a block, some more than others, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt a little bit of weirdness. When I was in a Canyon City, Colorado. That was known as the capital of the KKK at some point in time.
Oh, wow.
I had to do a show there, and the headliner was black. Then there's me, and I didn't want to drive there by myself, so I called my buddy. I was like, "Hey, you're white. Can you come with me?"
Really?
Yeah. Can you do some time? And so he did some time. Then it was my turn, and it was her turn. But when I first walked into the bar, it was like every Western movie.
What, the music stop and everybody look at you and shit?
There was no music, but yes, everyone turned and stared. The barn doors were still swinging because there were barn doors.
Yeah, nice.
I was like, yes, this is awesome. But it was a fun night that night, so no one died, obviously.
Yeah. That's crazy though. It's funny though, is just when you're not from a place, doesn't matter your color. When you're just not from a place, man, you stick out like a sore thumb.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Vegas is the only place where you could be from out of town and blend in. You know what I mean? There's so much, like, even if we were on the strip right now, and you'll see people like business suits. You'll see people with like short shorts, flip flops, and Hawaiian shirts. You'll see, like those could be locals. You know what I mean? Yeah. Those could be, or they're tourists, probably tourists. But everybody has, like, there's no look. There's no Vegas. Like, you go to New York, there's kind of a look.
Yeah.
People kind of wear, like, depending on where you're from, you kind of wear, like, a certain garb, certain clothes because it's warm, or it's cold. You go to Chicago, same thing. You kind of got, like, the white boys kind of wear this, black guys kind of wear that, you know what I mean? Like, there's a look, right? You go to L.A., right? There's, like, a certain kind of look. Yeah. Here in Vegas, you don't have, like,
there's no look.
A look. This is the only way, and this is what I tell my tourists. I go, this is the only way that you really tell somebody that's a tourist. Them fucking ridiculous souvenir drinks. All right, that's how you know. That's the pickpocket's dream. Oh yeah, look at that asshole with that fucking yard drink. He's 3/4 of the way done. That guy ain't gonna feel that bump and run, right? You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. But
oh man,
you gotta look. There's a look everywhere. So here's a little something though, dude. I want to talk about, man. When we talk about Republicans, Democrats, politics, and just not seeing what's there. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to dig deep. You don't have to go crazy. You just have to look at, like, what's there and by their actions. And that's one of the things. This is one of the things that I live by. One of the sayings: by their deeds you shall know them, or ye shall know them. By their deeds you shall know them. And
by their fruits. Yes.
Yeah, right?
Yes, in the Bible, it's biblical.
Yep. So, regardless of what people say, you look at what they do, right? Or don't do, and that's in either regards. But Antifa, Oh. They say they're anti-fascists, but then they're the fascists. They epitomize fascism, or the military arm of fascism, or I don't want to say military, but the brown shirts,
That's what the left does. They whatever they are guilty of, they accuse you of.
Dude, 100%. I mean, look what's going on with Trump and fucking Biden. Like, Biden, all these people, and Hillary, they're all tied up in Ukraine, but they're blaming him on a phone call. That's like, and even the Department of Justice is like, oh, no, there's nothing wrong with that call. They're like, that was like, he was like saying, Trump didn't even say, hey, when he said, hey, you guys, he told the guy, and he's like, if you guys have anything, let it be known. Like, put it out there. Like, let it be known. He didn't say, give it to me. He didn't say, he goes, just let it be known. Put it out there, Send it to the media. Let them know whatever greasy dealings that fucking Joe Biden and his son and all these people, like, let it be known. Just put it out there. Do me a favor. If you got any information, put it out there. Yeah, and they're like, oh. But then here they got paying these people. They're selling the United States uranium to fucking Ukraine and all stuff like that. And, dude, it's like, can you guys not see it? But you point this out. Oh, but what about this? What about that? It's going to go all the way back to fucking, yeah, but he said grab him by the pussy. You know what I mean? Like, it's just going to keep going. It's going to go all the way back. Like, then he tried to kick out people of their apartments back in New York City and back in 82. Yeah, you're like, where the fuck are you going?
Yeah, what is he doing now?
Pretty soon they're going to go back to, like, he beat up all those other sperm to be that one sperm that fucking fertilized the egg. You know what I mean? They're not going to go back that far. It's ridiculous, dude, Yeah. Seriously.
That is true.
I've never seen this, And then when everybody brings up, they're like, yeah, dude, it's unbelievable the fucking hate that they got on this guy. And they're like, oh, yeah, well, they shot JFK. And it's like, dude, obviously there's people there who are protecting Trump. And obviously there was people there, the majority of both sides wanted fucking Kennedy dead. That's not a good comparison. You know what I mean? I've never seen in my life, any side, like, even when Obama was in office, the Republicans were like, oh, he's doing, they tried to play the high role, even though they started all the wars and stuff, with Bush and all stuff like that. But that Republican Party is dying, and that's because of Trump. You know what I mean? Like, he's been killing that shit. He's been getting them out of there and stuff. But the whole thing with, like, at least with the Republicans, is they would still play the politics part of it of, like, let's try to do something. Like, okay, we're gonna fight you on this, but then this is gonna. I mean, because, dude, if the Republicans really want, they could have gone against Obamacare, but they voted in. They were part of that deal. You know what I mean? The ones that are in place. You know what I mean? Like, come on. And other things. They could have gone against the Patriot Act or Obama could have gone against the Patriot Act when he, But, so, you got these guys playing on these fucking teams. You got these, both sides and stuff. And Trump, flipped that up on top of its head. He turned that upside down and shit. But, I forgot where I was going with that. But my whole thing is, like, I used to not care. I used to not care at all.
About politics.
I didn't give a shit. I was trying to get my dick sucked, and that was it. I was trying to grow weed, sell weed, get my dick sucked, and make money. That was it. I don't give a fuck about anything, right?
Yeah. Somehow you just get dragged into a political debate, and you didn't know you were gonna do that. You're Joker.
Back in the day, I wouldn't even just whatever. I'm like, oh yeah, what do you want? The fucking mumps or the measles? That's what you're getting in politics. You want the mumps or the measles. Fuck you. Fuck them. Make money. But then I realized how much influence they had in my life. But I was blown open. My whole thing was blown open after 9/11. Because two things that happened. There's actually a few things that happened, but one of them, I immediately, my whole life, I never watched war movies, didn't watch war. My dad was who I've never met, but he was like fucked off from Vietnam. So I've been anti-war. You know, I blame it as like, oh, I don't know my dad because of the war. I don't know, but that's just my thing. And so I've been anti-war. My grandpa, who was in Korea, he was anti-war after he did all the shit, you know. So after 9/11, I was like, kill the women, kill the children, fucking hate breeds hate, erase these people off of the earth, because I believed what they said in mainstream media. They hate us for our freedoms. You know, it's bad. And that was maybe 6 months, and then I was like, I was in it. I wasn't even in the discussion. I wasn't even in the conversation, but I was bartending, and I was hearing people talk about stuff, and they were, you know, they're super overly patriotic about stuff, and I was like, you know, I used to never be this way. I used to never like support this shit. I'm like, what's going on, you know?
Yeah.
And then my buddy out of nowhere was like, yo, dude, he's like, have you seen have you seen Loose Change? And I was like, no. And he's like, bro, he goes, this movie, he goes, it breaks down like all sorts of government documents, all sorts of stuff. He's like, it breaks down the media and everything about like 9/11 and being like a coordinated attack, and it wasn't just that like they knew, you know. And he broke it down, and he said something to me, and this, I don't know why, I have no idea why, but he goes, dude, he goes, they have all these businesses or these agencies that were in the Twin Towers, but he's like, dude, he goes, like all the, and this is what he said, and he goes, like all the Jewish people, like the Jewish ran businesses, none of them showed up for work that day. And I go, get the fuck out. He goes, yeah, dude. He's like, because a lot of people didn't show up for work on 9/11.
Huh.
He goes, and and when he says Jewish people, he was talking about the owner, Silverstein, and like in company, like and stuff. Yeah. And I was like, just that guy? And he goes, no, a lot of companies didn't show up, like a lot of people. And I was like, okay. So then I went and started researching about 9/11, and I got to be honest, Loose Change was like the last thing I watched. I ended up reading and watching, and then, you know, Alex Jones documentaries and all sorts of stuff popped up, which he was kind of a part of, like Loose Change and stuff, a little bit. But then it was like, I was like, that's what I felt the whole time. Mm-hmm. You know, I felt something was wrong. I felt something was amiss, and and then, you know, it all made sense, and then you're like breaking it down. No worries. But he's like breaking it down, and that's the way, you know, it just slowly started unraveling for me. Like, but then, so it started with 9/11 for me, and then it went into the banking. And after the banking, that reinforced everything I've ever learned about 9/11 and more. So then it goes back into history, and next thing you know, you're a full-blown conspiracy theorist, and everybody hates you because you don't follow the mainstream shit. You got your own opinion about stuff. You know?
Yeah.
But, yeah, man, fucking, you know, crazy little deal. Oh, hey, right on. So, look who decided to stop in. Wow. He was done. Actually, I won't say decided to stop in, but he was done with his responsibilities. But Mikey made it.
Yeah, man. I was busy down the street. Luckily, I was just a couple blocks away. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have made it in at all.
Yeah, right?
But I just happened to be downtown, so I saw the light was on, so I figured I'd come and sit down.
Yeah, the light was on. You know, you always got a spot here at your house.
Yes. I felt welcome.
Yeah. Yeah, so me and David were getting into we talked about a whole bunch of shit, dude. You know, we were getting into it with like Antifa. We were talking about, You know,
We barely touched Antifa.
well, yeah, actually, huh? Yeah,
Yeah.
we barely did, dude. Like, we got off on like a fascist regime in presidents after that.
Yes.
I think so, but something to that effect. But yeah, shit, dude. There's actually, there's been a lot that it's been quiet, but there's been like a lot going on with like the Antifa front. You know what I mean? Like, it's slowly coming out that like, yeah, they're probably not like as benevolent as the left tries to make them be. Like, it's weird how they give them a pass.
Yeah.
You know, and it's weird how like these white people can like tell everybody else about like racism and who's right and who's wrong.
The apologists.
But they're not
the
even
guilt,
No,
the
they're not
guilty,
an apology. Yeah, it's like
The blank guilt.
yeah, right. Is there like an epidemic of white guilt going on out there?
It's weird.
Yeah. Why?
That's what I want to know.
They feel
You know what I
bad
mean?
for everyone on someone, like they feel bad on someone else's behalf. It's like the craziest thing ever. You know, not that like what I don't know. It's whatever. Fucking just crazy.
Well,
It's hard to explain.
it's definitely it's definitely hard to explain, but like like when it comes, this is one of the things that I see when it comes to it, dude. I see a lot of like you want to do stuff now, but you got to do stuff what's right for the now. You can't do something to try to correct something from the past, because that doesn't relate to now. You know what I mean? Like they're with all that happened, and then from civil rights and stuff, you just need to right the wrongs, what's happening in the moment, because you can't do anything based off of the past, because that's a different world from where we are today, and it has shaped the world in a sense, but when I say shape the world, that hasn't dictated. It's also been the blowback, the recoil after, you know what I mean? And I honestly believe, and it's tough. Some people, but I think we have to be in a better place than where we were once before.
Yes.
Am I
No,
high on that?
100%.
I
No.
don't know. I don't know. I think what's happening is they're forcing. They're creating bullies. These the people on the left that always complain, they're creating bullies, and I say that because when I hear their bitch complaints, I want to take the word that offends them and say it to them until they're no longer offended, and I think that's mind strengthening. I can strengthen people's minds.
Yeah, here's the thing, though, that this is the issue that we're faced when it comes to this, though, is like, you can't force anybody. That's the problem. That's what they try to do. You know what I mean? Like one of the things I learned, and I was aware of this, but it was brought to my attention by Sam Tripoli, is you don't try to educate somebody who's not looking for the truth or the knowledge. They're not trying to look to be educated. You don't try to like drop the truth on people who aren't looking the truth. You don't try to get it, because you're just going to be met with resistance. They don't want to. They're not looking for it. You know what I mean? You're just going to be butting heads. You're constantly going to be always going back and forth. And what we try to do, at least I believe all of us and people that I know, is we're trying to find a better way. You know what I mean? We're trying to find like answers to these problems. But it seems like the guys that like are trying to give us the solution to the problems, when you get into it, are the creation of the problems, and that kind of goes into a whole different thing of like mind control and manipulation of things. I'm just saying, that's just the way the world is. Sorry, A little too deep for you?
No. Wow, that's awesome.
Well, look at it. Everything's backed up. Everything, I mean, when you go by the mainstream narrative, everything's backed up by school, right? Everything's backed up by social pressures, you know, what is it, peer pressure, you know? Everything's backed up by the media, you know? We were talking about it on the last little deal, like with the whole rock the vote.
Oh yeah.
You know, you have all this, you just have all the shit, you know, that's out there. Fuck. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it's a tough one to deal with. I'm high.
No, it's.
I'm glad we weren't filming this one because I'm fucking lit.
I'm fucking lit. I don't know what I just walked into.
Well, no, Mikey, this guy here, but no, yeah, we're just talking about like all sorts of things, you know, Antifa and this life in general, and
It's Antifa season.
well, politics. Well, that's the thing is we gotta be careful about. We're getting into, you know, is this false flag time?
I ran across. It could be, it could be. But it's, you know, I've seen the flare up in Antifa videos. You know, and then in one of the threads I was reading, you know, someone said something along the lines of like, oh, well, that dude shouldn't have had on a MAGA hat. You know, like he got attacked because he had on a MAGA hat. And then someone else was like, well, if your daughter wears a miniskirt, can I fucking rape her because of what she had on? Like, you know what I mean? Like a wardrobe choice shouldn't equal assault. Yeah. You know, and that's always been the thing. Like we've always said that about women. Like, oh, you know, like people always say, you know, because she was, that's no excuse. You know what I mean? Like we all know, like people have tried to say that shit before, and it's like, okay, so now it's excusable. You know what I mean? To fucking break someone's head open with a baseball bat if they're wearing a hat.
Yeah, yeah, because that stands for, you know, racism or that, you know, it's like, where? Show me where that is.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the whole thing. It's rooted in like non-provable facts. Like, you know what I mean? Like these people swear they'll take it to the bank, but there's no proof.
You know, yeah. You know how many times when you watch these interviews and you see people, they're like, so can you cite like where like this racism or where this is? I heard it. Well, because kids in cages.
Enter insult, enter fucking bad language. Like that's what.
Because dude, no one's bringing anything to the table. Like, come on. Fuck, dude.
Yeah, at least the grab him by the pussy was all recorded. You know what I mean? Like whatever your opinion is.
But taken out of context. They even had to admit that eventually. But people don't. You know the old saying: the lie gets halfway around the world before the truth gets a chance to get his boots on.
Yeah. You know, like I mean, they had him like there. They had him like, and everybody swore too. Like when the whole thing with the reporter came out. He was mocking the reporter that had the disability.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like they were like, he's done. And I was like, he might be. This might be the thing that fucking takes him down. Nope.
Yeah.
He's torn right through that shit.
Until there was 30 other times where he's just like, oh, that guy, he's like,
yeah, it's like that's what he does. He's insensitive. He's an insensitive prick.
Yeah,
like,
no, dude.
Like we know this.
Yeah, no, he's done that too.
Yeah.
Dude, they're like, he's been doing that to people when he mocks people. He's with the curled hands and the fucking and
everyone in the '90s fucking did that at least once.
Dude, they made a movie. It's called Handyman.
Well, there's Handyman.
Right?
What about The Ringer?
Yeah, dude, The
Ringer was. I still don't understand that movie,
dude.
I still don't understand that fucking movie they made. You know what I mean? Like I don't even know the proper terminology. In 2019 to describe what the fuck the movie The Ringer is. But Johnny Knoxville made one of the weirdest movies ever.
Yeah, dude.
You know, they fucking rigged the Special Olympics. Like, you can't... Do people even know that movie exists, bro? Like, seriously, it's so crazy.
Dude. Seriously, that is deep, dude.
Like, have you seen that movie, The Ringer?
No.
You know Johnny Knoxville?
Yes.
You know, he was like doing weird shit and like, I don't know, man, he plays this fucking in a movie
We're
He pretends to be like severely mentally retarded and goes to
what's his name? Rip
Torn or
Rip Torn.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wants to have him in. It was like
He had like gambling debts, and he was gonna they were gonna kill him or something, right? Like he had to recoup some gambling debts.
I'd never seen the movie. I
Yeah.
don't know, but I just know it was like they were like taking like jackass.
You've never seen it?
No, never seen it all the way. Never seen it all the way through. I know about the movie. I know the premise and stuff, but I never watched it. I don't watch movies, dude.
I think that movie came out around like 06 maybe.
Yeah, I was done. I was already out of movies.
I would love to see the fucking network throw that shit on. Just randomly. Comedy Central, 10 o'clock, Friday night or something. You know what I mean? Like, fucking heads would explode.
Dude, all I saw was a remake of like Jackass and Dodgeball.
Yes. But
So-
the Special Olympics. And they
Yeah.
totally fucking mocked the whole... I like I said, I don't even know the problem. I'm afraid to even fucking say words right now. You know what I mean? Like,
Dude,
that's how sensitive our climate is. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
dropped the M-bomb on the last...
hard R bomb.
Yeah, a couple
Yeah.
of them. Hey, I was reciting the Chappelle Show.
Yeah, no. It was, yeah, it's crazy. That I don't know. Like you said, the movie The Ringer, bro.
The
You should
Ringer,
go home
dude.
and give it another watch. Dude.
Yeah, dude, I'll see if I can throw it on.
Yeah.
The old Netmaster.
And just put that movie in today's climate. Like, you could never fucking do it, and it wasn't that long ago.
Well, it's like All in the Family.
Yeah.
I was just talking about, we were just talking about how fucking SNL dropped a hard R with,
Was
Chevy
it Chevy
Chase.
Chase and Eddie Murphy, right?
yeah, dude.
Yeah, they did it. They got away with it.
But they're over there talking about some dude made some Asian jokes and they're kicking him off the fucking roster.
Dude. Society should really, like, it's fucking getting out of control. The OK symbol,
Yeah.
the OK fucking hand symbol.
This is racist.
Yeah,
Yes.
you heard about this?
Yes.
This fucking OK symbol, the spot game, like there's,
Yeah.
I'm okay, and then the spot game, I'm gonna hit you in the fucking arm. Like,
Dude.
everyone's played that fucking game.
Dude, well, and not to talk about a private conversation, but I'm going to, okay? We were talking about this, me and Mikey, and one of the things that was mentioned was like this whole thing with like this TDS, this Trump derangement syndrome and shit like that, right? It has, I go, this is what I said to Mikey, it has people that we know that are smart. It has like smart people, right? Believing and acting this bullshit, fucked up way, right? And Mikey goes, those are people who we thought were smart.
Yeah.
And because they can't see through they can't see their brain, and I hate to say they're brainwashed, but I mean, dude, like, they totally the mainstream media narrative, and it's just from one thing to the next. You know what I mean? But it's like, fuck, dude, I forgot where I was going with that. But you know what I mean? Like, it's like it's unbelievable how people can't decipher from the bullshit. You know what I
They
mean?
just soak it in. And if you question it, you're a fucking lunatic.
Yeah, dude. I never changed my tune, man. I never changed to a, you know what I mean?
Question
Do
the
my
fucking
thing.
question. Like, anywhere there's a narrative, you'll find me going the other way. And like I said, even that's how, and why I just left school. You know what I mean? Like, I just wasn't down with the fucking motion. You know what I mean? Like, it just wasn't, like, we didn't vibe. And I just bounced on, like, like we talked about, how I left school, like 10th grade. I wasn't down with it. You know what I mean? Like, and it sounds weird. Like, no one's down with school, right? Well, I fucking
Hey,
split.
it's all about making that money, man.
And it just, I don't know, man. Like, anytime you question the narrative, though, whether it be in school, right? Like, your teachers are teaching shit. You know what I mean? And if you question it, like, I remember I got in trouble in history class for questioning Christopher Columbus. Like, this was in the 90s. A lot of people weren't, like, really hip to the whole Columbus fucking whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't give a shit. I don't even think I was there that day.
Yeah, but you know what I mean?
Like,
So I remember, like, questioning some stuff about Christopher Columbus and, like, what about all, like, the, the raping and the pillaging and, all the crazy shit these fucking people, like, why don't we bring that up? you know, and the teacher was like, I immediately was told to leave the room.
Yeah.
You know, and then I had to go to the fucking principal's or the dean's office or whatever it was.
Damn.
Like because I said rape. That
Wow.
that was the end all reason was I got suspended from school because I said rape in class.
Wow.
You know, not like, you know what I mean? But I didn't just like yell out rape. You know what I mean? I was like asking about what Christopher Columbus and all these men on these boats did when they hit the mainland. You
then
know,
he
like,
started like grinding up on the pencil sharpener.
yeah, you know,
Yeah.
and so I got in trouble with it. It was like crazy. I don't know. Just fucking weird shit, bro.
No, but dude, you know, that's the thing. That's the problem with what's going on today is when you shape the narrative, when you stifle and you cancel out, you know, discussion or talk about certain things, you know. I remember, you know, many times in school where conversations started going off of the beat and bend teacher. Whoa, we got to stay within the curriculum.
Yeah.
You know, and you know that's all just the sell fucking thing. And I got to be honest, you know, you look at the way the world is today. You look at the way the academia is today, and what it produces. Okay, and I'm not even talking about debt slaves through college and loans and stuff like that, but I'm talking about the mindset. You know, there has been a very big left agenda in college, in education, in academia. It's always been after big oil got involved. All right, but there's the people who have been in control of the curriculum have been Democrats for like, close to the last 50 years or better. You know what I mean? And look what we have today. You know, I remember, dude, I might be repeating myself here, but I remember like Hillary Clinton and all sorts of people like promoting going to college. Yeah, we talked about this last podcast. You know, going to school. You know what I mean? You had to go to college. Everybody had to go to college. You know? And big scam, dude. Everybody's these debt slaves now because of that shit. You know? But the curriculum is all shaped people into feelings. It's all feelings. It's all reinforced by Hollywood. Feelings.
Feelings?
Feelings. It's all about feelings.
Feelings?
Feelings.
Yep.
Fuck feelings.
That's all. It's feelings.
Fuck feelings.
Hey, dude. If they're of age.
Fuck. That's the
Unless them
stripper's
feelings
name.
of
That's
age.
the stripper's name.
Feelings of age.
Feelings of age.
But wheelings and dealings. But yeah, dude, shit, man. Fucking. I don't know. You want to wrap it up? Want to call it a night? Seal the deal?
I'm good. I think you're good.
I'm good. I'm fucking tired.
Oh, you can't see this.
Yeah.
I am doing the shaka.
Yeah.
Shaka racist.
Yeah,
It's
right.
the
It's
next one.
racist.
Is that the
dog.
next one?
Oh, fuck, everything's racist.
In the future, we have to cut off all our fingers. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
God forbid
right.
someone makes a fucking hand gesture. You know what I mean?
Dude, hey, were we talking yesterday about the crab boy?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, dude.
The crab boy, fuck. Sorry.
Fucking
The
insane.
shaka.
It's shocking. That's what, bro. Trust me. There's jokes there for days.
Right on. Well, David, dude, you want to tell him where they can find you?
Yes. Oh.
You do that now.
Yeah.
You do that now.
David Lee Comedy or
This is the Stonecast, bro. We have fucking...
You guys are fucking.
Bro, I'm in the fucking bag, son. That Tito's got me.
I wonder if it's like this every time, and I just walk in so like, you know what I mean?
No.
Like, am I seeing it this way for the first time? It's hilarious.
I don't know, dude, but I'm
awesome.
fucking Denzel Washington.
Yeah. Island 9 Fit Club. That's it.
Who, what?
Island 9 Fit Club on Instagram. That's how people can find me.
Okay, fucking A, dude.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me, man. This is really awesome.
Yeah, dude. Fucking love having you. Shit, dude. I wish it didn't get a little too stony baloney here at the end, but you know, hey, that's the way it goes.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
That vodka,
Yeah.
though.
Oh, is that what? That's the fucking.
Yeah, that got me.
That's what threw it over the edge.
For me, yeah.
That's what threw it over the edge.
Bam. That's why I can't remember shit.
Yeah. You can catch me on Instagram at Easy Bail Bonds.
Yeah, fucking dinging the Tito's.
Come get this big bottle of vodka.
Yeah, from Alston. Yeah, guys, that's the whole deal. Thank you very much, shit, dude. Thanks for hanging out. We did it. We got a little fuck in the end. But hey, yeah, hey, this is a long day, dude. It's a long day. You know, I've done about like, I'm like sore from talking. Yeah, I mean, I've done like,
You
I'm
talk
like,
all day, don't you?
yeah, probably done like 500,000 words today. Like I'm just raw.
You get some honey in that throat.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. It's not even a throat, dude. It's like my tongue. It's tired.
Tired.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, dude, it happens, but you know, fuck it, dude. And the strength in.
Can you still eat? Like if you had to eat, you'd be like, no, like my mouth.
Oh
is
no,
done.
that's fine. No. It's
Just Jello.
No.
Just
no,
Jello.
no. I gotta do a tour tomorrow, and tomorrow they're gonna get the fucking. They're probably gonna get the Brit. All right,
nice.
here we go. Come on, because I don't gotta like I don't gotta like move my tongue too much, so I can just be like, all right, the dam was done in 1935. It was completed. The filled up reservoir by 1941. Yeah. Just talk like. Yeah, I've had too many Cutty Sarks and soda.
Cutty socks and Tito's and fucking.
Yeah, dude, drugs all over the place. Let's do it up. All right. ThinkStopper, over and out. Love you guys. Toodles. Fuck.
Thank you.